gonna try this again. I've tried to make at least 2 or 3 other videos over the last week or two, and it's just been harder for me to remember to go back and finish the video and then upload the video. So I'm like, I could tell over a period of time, a lot of my cognitive functions have been declining. Then I'm also realizing that of course, obviously, with the increase in electromagnetic waves and I'm gonna call it pressure building up in the brain, a lot of the neurons are probably disconnecting, and I'm having like a harder and harder time of let's just say maintaining like certain short-term memory things, or just having a hard time really just trying to, like, I don't know, stay relevant to I guess what's going on in the, I guess I could say, quote unquote normal world. Because I mean, I gotta say this though, is that I'm only 3 years in, right? I'm only 3 years in, but I also realize that at some point I have to expect certain things to no longer work as great or as normal as they used to, because my body is now eventually just going to start to show what the long-term side effects are when you're exposed to electromagnetic radiation for a long period of time. And the interesting thing is, that's what the research that we really need to be seeing. That's what we're lacking, is the lack of research. There are research studies out there that show and demonstrate many molecular and anatomical changes that happens to the body when there's a long duration of electromagnetic radiation surrounding the cells, or when there's too much energy flowing into the cells, and then they begin to overheat. There are those studies, but the real studies that need to be done are the ones that should have, people who are being targeted. They should be the ones who really need to be studied, but on a public scale. I mean, if we can get like the Nuremberg Code or trials like, scenario, then I mean, man, look, this thing will blow wide the hell open. But the problem is that there's not enough people that's not afraid to take a hit. It's not enough people. Because I mean, from what I gather, yes, they can kill anyone at any time, whoever they want, whenever they want. That's their culture. That's their culture. Their culture is to protect their power by any means necessary. Their culture is to protect their world by any means necessary, and to seek out any possible enemy even before they're even birthed into the world. They're watching their DNA. They're watching them by the time they're like conceived. They're watching them to see, okay, is this person going to become a threat once they're born into the world? If they are, then what we need to do is surround them around. You could call them agents, you could call them bots, call them whatever you will, but they'll be like, they'll probably plan it, because I know a lot of TIs, especially those who've been in it for a long time, they realize that they probably have been targeted for maybe their entire life. And I've grown to actually believe it more and more, man, I just gotta say though, this is the more I get deeper into it, and the more they start to do to me, and then the more, like my girlfriend gets into it, and they'll say, like, I'll hear the V2K or synthetic telepathy operators. They'll say, oh, he wasn't even supposed to be a target. He was supposed to be a police officer, referring to me. Then they'll say, oh, his girl wasn't supposed to know about technology. And now he's sacrificing her. Meaning, because I informed her about what's happening to her body against her will and without her knowledge, they're saying I'm sacrificing her life because she wasn't supposed to know. Now, the interesting thing is, I've heard this statement mentioned a few times, and by people who I suspect that actually know about what's happening, but they're just doing what they feel like they need to do in order to protect themselves and their families, which I understand. If you tell me you don't want to know, then there's two things. One, I'm going to assume you know and you're protecting yourself. Or two, I'm assuming you don't know, but you're afraid I might actually be right. And by you actually finding out because I told you, you're afraid something might happen to your life. I get it. My only thing is that, like, I kind of almost hate the idea that, like, nobody at least didn't give me a heads up. Well, you know what? I can't say that people didn't give me a heads up, because you got to remember, they've been conditioning us for this stuff, our entire lives, right? Television, film, TV, music. They talk about what they're doing, how they're going to do it. They really actually put it out there publicly, right in our faces. But the thing is, we are probably most of the time so tired, so exhausted, so beat down. Most of the time when we're watching something, we're not even looking for the little intricate things, the little, what they call them, things. It's like when you're watching a movie or a show and they say that there's little things inside the show or the movie that would, like, remind you of something else or whatever. I don't want to just say subliminal messages, but something else. But these little intricate things that you'll be seeing, but it'll blow right past you, or something that'll be said and it'll flow right over your head. That's only if you don't know what you're looking for. Now, once you start to know what you're looking for, even if you're not even intentionally looking for it, by you knowing what's going on and how they're doing it, it's like, once you become more and more sensitive to certain stimuli or certain stimuli, you're gonna pretty much almost like automatically have at least the instinct to be like, wait a minute, was that what I think it was? Or did they just say what I think they said? And then you'll run it back just to confirm it. Now, I always tell people, like, whatever you do, do not sweat. Do not allow fear to freeze you up. Do not allow yourself to become, like this damsel in distress or this helpless victim. I've been, like, trying to tell people more and more, don't stress over the things that you cannot control. That includes your children too, because you can't control your children. The best thing you can do is persuade them. You can't control them, but you can persuade them. You can persuade them. You can possibly, like, manipulate them, if you will. But control, I wouldn't necessarily say anybody controls their children. Technically, nobody really has control over anyone. What they do have is greater influence over someone, or whoever the person being instructed, child or adult, whatever. It's not that they have, someone has control over them, but it's more along the lines that there's just a greater fear or respect for the person. Yeah, and let's not confuse fear and respect, because that's what the gang stalkers like to do. They like to confuse fear and respect. You don't have to fear the people that you respect, and you don't have to fear the people that you don't want to respect. You don't have to respect the people that you fear. Well, actually, you kind of do, actually, because respect is like basically just having awareness of what someone or something is capable of. That's basically what respect really is. It's just being aware of someone's capabilities. You know, it's like you should always show someone respect, right? Always show someone respect until they give you a reason not to respect them, right? You always respect the person as one. That's the first and foremost I've always learned growing up is you respect the person as a human being. That's one. You respect them as a human being. Two, after you respect them and acknowledge them as a human being, you then respect their personality. You respect their viewpoints, right? You expect how they may receive information, right? You respect that. Three, you should also respect how they react to to how they respond to something, because one, you don't know all the details about where someone came from or how they learned how to interpret something, whatever the case may be. But yeah, because I know one thing, the synthetic telepathy operators, they have been on this hell-bent character assassination, I don't know why I said it, character assassination campaign, where they basically just I'm pretty sure it's like the voice bot AI that just keeps repeating, he has no respect for women. I oftentimes hear like actually no, I hear all four of them every once in a while say that. They'll say he has no respect for women. And the more interesting thing is, because I like to make sure I'm fair and I like to make sure that I'm not overthinking or underthinking something, I like to actually ask my girlfriend from time to time just to connect with her, and I'll be like, hey, do you feel like I respect you? Like, do you feel like I do enough, or blah, 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 or, you know, do you think I, like, care about your opinions and stuff like that? Like, I check in with her, and she'll tell me yes. So I'm like, okay. And I'm really just hoping that she's going to tell me the truth, right? Because why would you lie to somebody who's trying to actually, you know, better their communication with you, better their relationship with you, you know? So I'm depending on her to tell me the truth, because anytime the, you know, synthetic telepathy operators start their, you know, their repetitive I guess cymatics. Yes, look into that word too. Many of you who are being who are getting V2K, look into cymatics. Cymatics, CYMATICS. I literally just came across this word like maybe a couple of days ago, and that was from like a YouTube video. And I really suggest people start watching YouTube videos on biofeedback, human aura, the 7 layers of the aura, Loosh energy. Start learning everything you can about spiritual energy, because I kid you not, it's the lack of knowledge for this thing, the very thing that's a part of every single person's body who is still a human being. It's the lack of knowledge of that part of your body is what gives them that leeway. It's that lack of knowledge, because most people don't know that they operate on frequencies and various energies and things of that sort, you know. But all right, I'm gonna end it here, because I can never remember where to pick up on, and I never really care to watch my videos over. So I'll talk to y'all another day. Take like one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.